everyone, welcome back to another JavaScript coding challenge. The challenge for today's video is IPv4 Validator. Given a string, determine if it's a valid IPv4 address. A valid IPv4 address contains 4 integer numbers separated by dots. So each number must satisfy the following conditions. The number should be between 0 and 255 inclusive. The number does not have leading zeros. Only numeric characters are allowed. Okay, these are the conditions. Now let's get into the solution to solve this challenge. For that, I'm going to design a function called isValidIPv4, which takes one argument, which is a string argument. Okay, the first thing is we should check whether the given IP address has 4 integer numbers separated by dots or not. For that, let's split the given IP address using dot. For that, I'm going to use split method and then pass dot as a separator. So after this, we get list of numbers in the IP address. Now let's check whether the length of IPv4 list is not equal to 4. That means if it's not equal, it's not a valid IP address. For that, let's use the condition IPv4 dot length not equals to 4. So if it's not equal to 4, we simply return false because the IP address is a not valid address. Now next thing is if this condition pass, that means the IP address is a valid one. Next thing is what we have to do is not valid one. I can say the IP address contains 4 integer or 4 parts. Okay. Now the next thing is whether these 4 parts satisfy these conditions or not. For that, let's use for loop and then IP of IP4 list and then add these conditions to check whether each integer number or part of IP satisfy these conditions or not. For that, the first condition is before verifying or checking these conditions, we should check whether the IP is not empty. If it's empty, it's an invalid IP address. For that, if IP equals empty, then the given IP address is invalid. So we should simply return false. If the IP address is not empty, then the next condition we have to check whether the IP number is in between 0 to 255 or not. For that, if 0 greater than number of IP, I'm converting the string into number and then verifying, or number of IP greater than 255. That means if any part of IP address is less than 0, that means negative, or greater than 255, that means greater than 255 means it's 256 like that, then it's an invalid IP address. So we should return false. Okay. So now the thing is, if the IP is in between the range of 0 to 255, the next condition we have to verify or check if the IP number contains any leading zeros and then having length greater than 1, then it's a invalid. Okay. For that, if IP dot length Why? Because if the IP contains only single zero, it's a valid. For example, let's say 198.0.128.0. This is a valid. But if the IP number contains like this 01, it's a invalid. For that reason, I'm taking the length and then checking if it's a greater than 1 or not. If it's a greater than 1 and the first character of IP number starts with 0, then it's a invalid IP address. For that, what I'm doing is IP of 0. So I'm getting the character 0th index and then checking for the condition if it's equal to 0. If this is going to be true, then our IP address is a invalid, so we should return false. Okay. So once our IP number satisfies this condition as well, then the next thing is check whether the given IP address contains any alphabetical letters other than numeric characters. For that, if the IP address contains alphanumeric combination of letters, then it's an invalid IP address. For that, if is NAN, I'm using inbuilt JavaScript method to check whether the IP number is a number or not. For that, let's convert the IP into number and then use this method. If this condition is true, that means our IP number contains combination of both alpha as well as letters as well as numeric characters. Okay, then we should simply return false. So if all of these conditions pass, that means our IP address or the IP address which we pass to this method is a valid. So we should simply return true. Okay. So let me tell you our solution again. We are simply doing split of given IP address and then check the length is equal to not equal to 4. If it's not equal to 4, that means it's a invalid. So here we are checking all invalid conditions first. So if all of these conditions doesn't match, that means our IP4 address is a valid. So now if the IP address has a 4 parts, then go for loop and then check all these conditions. Okay, and then at the end we are simply returning true if none of these conditions are met. Okay, now let's see our solution is working as expected or not by running the test cases. See, all of our test cases pass, that means our solution is working as expected. Okay, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please do like, share and subscribe for more technical videos. Thanks for watching.